Coins are an important currency in Mortal Shell 2, and it can be a bit tricky to get enough of them to keep up with upgrades and other expenses through normal gameplay. Fortunately, there is a reliable way to farm upwards of 1500 coins per minute if we put in a little effort to set ourselves up properly. All of that will be covered in this guide, and as usual, useful timestamps can be found in the video description. First, it's essential for us to unlock the Proxima Shell. That's fortunate because Proxima can be unlocked immediately after completing the game's prologue. Starting from the Mire Keep beacon, we will make our way up to the top of the keep where we can launch into the open world. We will then take the northern transporter and launch ourselves to the Widow's Overlook beacon. From there, we'll move north until reaching the Black Ridge Pass beacon. You can cleanse this beacon if you'd like, but it's not necessary for the shell. Instead, just move a bit further north and to the left to reach an elevated area where there is a shattered beacon near an enemy. We can enter the shattered beacon and interact with the unknown shell. Following a short cutscene, we'll need to take the offering, then use Biosampler on Stranger, answer the Stranger, and finally inform Merrick. Once we exit the memory, we will have unlocked the Proxima Shell and can immediately switch over to it. For our coin farm, we will need to upgrade Proxima to level 3 via shell bonding at the Shell Keeper in Mire Keep. This requires a total of 15 glimpses, which are primarily unlocked through exploring and cleansing beacons in the open world. Once we reach bond level 3 with Proxima, we can invest shell points into the Collector Skill. Shell points are acquired by leveling up our main character with Gloom. We only need 5 shell points to max out the Collector Skill, which will maximize our efficiency in collecting specimens from defeated enemies. This is the key to our coin farm, as each specimen can then be sold to Merrick the Merchant for 100 coins. Next, we need to find a good location to farm specimens. The best one I know of is right next to the Sunken Village Beacon. I'll be showing the quickest path to reach it, starting from the Widow's Overlook Beacon. From there, we will move east to the Mushroom Village Beacon. From the Mushroom Village Beacon, we will need to move a bit further southeast to reach the Mushroom Village Gate Beacon. To access the nearby gate, we will first need to cleanse the Mushroom Village Gate Beacon. To do that, enter the beacon dungeon and proceed down the lift. We need to solve a small puzzle here involving 2 one-way portals that grant access to deeper portions of the dungeon. We will eventually reach an enclosed chamber with a couple of enemies. After defeating them, we can strike at the walls until we find the illusory wall that can be dispelled. This will reveal the path to the final boss chamber. After defeating the final boss, we can interact with the Ova cluster to cleanse the beacon and return topside. The Mushroom Village gate should now be open for us to walk through, and this will bring us to an unmapped region. Watch out for traps as we make our way to the first beacon here for Seeping Mire. It's then just a short walk from the Seeping Mire Beacon to the Sunken Village Beacon. It might be necessary to cleanse the Sunken Village Beacon in order to cross the nearby bridge. The first time we do this, we will need to defeat a boss near the group of sheep. However, once that boss is defeated, the sheep become very easily dispatched fodder for us to harvest specimens on Proxima. This is the simple version of the coin farm. All we need to do is have Proxima with the collector skill maxed out, equip any fast melee weapon, then run over to the group of sheep, harvest them for specimens, return to rest at the beacon, rinse and repeat. Now there is a way to significantly speed up the farming speed, but it will require a specific sidearm, the Cursed Child, which is a bit more difficult to obtain. This should probably only be done after getting a fairly OP build. I'll leave a link near the bottom of this video's description to a guide on how to do just that. Once we are prepared for a challenge, we can use the southern launcher atop Mire Keep to reach the outskirts of Mammon Beacon. From there, we will run south to the Road of Absolution, then drop off down to the left and run through a path with Grisha hunters. This leads to a transporter that will bring us to a new area, the Revenant Graves. Our first destination here is the tall tower where we can obtain the map for this area. After grabbing that map, we can run up into the nearby fortress. Before going to the dungeon with the Cursed Child, let's move through the main entrance of the fortress. There, we'll need to defeat a few enemies so the gates open back up, and we can then go activate the Abbey entrance beacon. This will serve as a respawn point in case we are defeated. We can then move back into the fortress and along a circuitous path to reach a lift that will bring us to the entrance of the Revered Beacon dungeon. The main challenge of this dungeon is to avoid the searching light that is being emitted from the beacon while also moving along the path to reach said beacon of light. If we are spotted, we can hide behind nearby cover until it stops focusing on our position. Upon reaching the beacon, we can strike the source to deactivate it, claim the cursed Child Sidearm, and interact with the node that appears to quickly exit the dungeon. For the ultimate form of the coin farm, we will then equip the Proxima Shell and cursed Child Sidearm, make sure we toggle on Enabled Free Aim, max out the Collector Shell skill, and return to the Sunken Village Beacon. The cursed child emits an invisible cone of continuous damage when fired, which lasts about a second and can be swept across multiple enemies. Once we get the feel of it down, we should be able to defeat all sheep in the area within 2 or 3 pulses pretty consistently. The specimens they drop will remain when resting at the beacon, so long as we don't enter the beacon or do anything else to leave the zone. Because of that, the fastest method for farming specimens is to defeat all the sheep, then actually leave the specimens and quickly go rest at the beacon before returning to repeat the process again. We can then just do this for a while until many specimens have built up around the sheep spawn zone. Once we've farmed a sufficient amount, we can then round up all of the extracted specimens in one fell swoop. All that's left is to bring them back to Mire Keep and sell all of them to Merrick the Merchant for a lump sum of coins. I did a little timed experiment and found that I could get nearly 100 specimens in 6 minutes of the quick farm method. That translates to about 1,000 specimens in an hour or 100,000 coins. That's just a bit over 1,500 coins per minute. In other words, the shortage of coins problem is solved. If you have any questions on what was covered in this guide, you can reach out to me in the comments where I will do my best to help. If you want to see more great content, you can head over to my channel, and if you're new, consider subscribing. You're helping me feed my cats, Marshmallow, and Coco. Have a great day if you're here today, have a great Thursday, and a great weekend, and as always, thanks for watching.